Yasin, you just saw Until Dawn. You did a brief reaction video and wrote a review for the blog. But let's get into it.
Okay.
So you had mentioned that the film ends, but there's a little bit of a ... and you felt like there were building blocks for like a potential franchise. Did you feel like it's like a sort of a subliminal wink to the audience saying, hey, this is going to set up some stuff?
Yes. Well, unfortunately, the way that it's set up, it's more than just a wink. It's a full-on blink, wave your hands, look over here.
Giant signs that say we're going to set up a franchise.
The problem, as usual, is that the movie wasn't given enough. You wasn't given enough in the movie. You were as a horror fan, you were given some decent scenes, some decent kills. For the gamer who had played the game, because it is based on a video game and a popular video game, I can't see the gamers being that into the movie, because it's very basic at fan service. It throws in stuff. I mean, and you'll see it. Here's the story. Just to recap the story. There are 5 young adults who are going across country, who are tracing the steps of the missing lead's sister. And we finally get to a town, and in the small town, we have our favorite actor, one of our favorite actors, Peter Stormare. He starts off as a shopkeeper. So we figure, oh, here's a nice little like cameo. Turns out he's got a full part in it. He plays the original part that he does in the game, who is the character Dr. Hill. And he's in charge of the asylum that was in the town that for whatever reason decided that they were going to practice fracking in the town. They were going to do some sort of drilling.
Wait, is it not near the town, but in the town?
It has to be in the town because the entire town sinks.
Oh.
They do such extreme drilling that the entire town sinks, like almost like like a story, almost like a couple of feet.
Wow.
So that the first floor of everybody's home is like underground.
Theme-wise, thematically, besides scares and kills and stuff, is this thematically an environmental, like, sort of a morality tale about the environment, or a warning?
That would have been interesting. That would have been interesting.
It would have.
Except that the fracking in the town is a plot device to keep this story moving. And the story being that when they reach this town, first of all, the town isn't there when they get there. When they arrive to the place that they think that the house that they think she was staying in or staying at is in the middle of nowhere, except that it's in the eye of a storm. There's a rainstorm they have to go through to get to the house. When they get to the house, it turns out they're in the eye of it. There's no rain. And they're in there searching. They find nothing really. Or at some point, one of the young adults finds a wall of missing photos. And they're all random pictures of different people that they've never seen before, until they go through all the pictures and find that one of the missing pictures is, wait for it, the missing sister. Sun goes down, and
this is when everything starts.
This is when everything starts. And when I mean everything,
right.
I mean the weird hourglass, the skull-adorned hourglass that's
like you
in
have
the house.
In your house.
Like every house has.
Everybody should have a grandfather clock.
Everybody.
And a skull,
a fireplace,
hourglass.
and the hourglass with this like gold skull.
All right, I'm with you.
It turns over, and the night begins. A clown-faced, hulking serial killer comes out and is, out to kill everyone. Before the night is done, all 5 are killed. And then the night begins again.
Right, so this is the plot device. This is like sort of the Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day kind of device that happens. But what I'm curious about is, so you've got your group of friends who are looking for this girl. Now, after they are killed, in the house, do they then see the other missing people who are also killed and that they're reliving the night over and over again?
No, not not exactly.
But do they get
They they
closer?
they 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 don't, and they do. Over those nights, they see themselves transforming. Like they're starting to get different bruises. They're starting to their hair is starting to fall out, and it seems as if that they are transforming into something else. And along the way of the movie, one of the sets of monsters that you come up against are the zombies, who you don't know where, they're not told where they're from. We all suspect that these are the missing. Once you
Oh, I
realize,
get it.
once you
Okay.
realize that the five are transforming, then you start to piece together that these zombies must be from the missing group. And as the story goes on, Peter Stormare sort of breaks down in his exposition and talks about, this is where it really just goes off the rails. A whole
But
sort
that
of
sounds interesting, though. That's kind of an interesting premise, right? So you have these people, they go missing.
Yeah.
Then the house starts, killing people.
Right.
And then you find out that the missing people are actually sort of being recycled or transforming into
Yes.
the undead
Right.
force that's also contributing to killing more people.
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, it sounds awful in terms of a situation.
Yes.
Are our heroes, like, do they figure this out? Does Peter Stormare tell them?
At some point, Peter Stormare has to just sort of break down and tell you what is happening, because
It's like a big monologue,
'cause
and he's
it-
like, everybody got that?
yeah, at some point he just goes into how they're trying to recreate the Wendigo, who is a mythical beast. I want to say American mythology, mythological beast. And there have been different versions of the Wendigo on film. So if you have an idea of what you think the Wendigo is going to look like, just forget it. It's not. It's for some reason that to be fair, I may have missed. This has to happen. There's no like, I'm going to take over the world with them. I'm experimenting on them to
You're not
further a
given
medical.
like a real purpose for. It's just we're gonna do this, and we don't.
It's happening,
Right.
and I can't stop it. So I'm just going to monitor it and keep it going.
And is this kind of where you felt like, all right, they're setting this creature thing up, and then that's going to be the sequel. That's going to we're going to make the monster is going to be the thing that's going to come back in Until Dawn 2.
By the time I got to that point, I was trying to figure out what is the point of the whole thing. Like, what is he doing with this? Is not very clear as to why it has to happen. When did it? There's plenty of questions to be answered in a sequel, and mind you, in order to explore some of these other monsters, it would have taken more time, like 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, 20 more minutes. I'm not sure the movie had it to do that. So
Like there wasn't enough there wasn't enough movie to sustain that much.
Yeah.
So in the end, does it kind of like leave you wanting more, and you're like, I have to see Until Dawn 2, or is it like, yeah, fine, maybe I don't. If they do it Until Dawn 2, maybe I don't need to see it.
yeah, I think hardcore Until Dawn fans will be willing to see what they do afterwards.
This is the BTRP Media Network.